welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the brand new from Natasha Denona. You guys already know what I'm about to say. The Star palette. It finally came in and I've been playing with it and I have formed an opinion. But if you're only here to see the tutorial on this eye look, just skip to the time I'm going to insert here. But if you want to stick around, I'm going to definitely tell you what I think about this, some pros, some cons, and all of that jazz. So to start off with, I'm going to talk about some of the new things with this palette, and then I'm going to compare it to the other two palettes, the bigger ones, the 28s from Natasha Denona. So this palette here, the Star palette, has 18 brand new, never before seen shades. So you're not getting duplicates in here. I do appreciate that she wasn't like, you know, here's some from the blue brown or the green brown and then the blue purple. These are all new, never before seen shades. And also, these matte shades are different than the ones that are in her 28 palettes or any of the other ones. They're a brand new formula. It's called Creamy Matte, and they are phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. I would take a whole 28 pan palette from her in that Creamy Matte formula. It is so beautiful. They blend out so effortlessly, like, it does it for you. You don't have to know what you're doing. It's going to do it for you. There's two duochrome shades, this one here and this one here. This one's more duochrome to me, Orion or something like that. I have that on my lower lash line. This one to me just seems more metallic, or it's not really that shifty to me to be called a duochrome. There's 3 metallic shades, and then there's 4 of her new crystal shades, like this one here, this one, this one, this one. That's where things get to be a little iffy for me. I love the formula of all the other ones. These, I do like them. That's what I have on my lid right here. But this palette claims to be fallout proof, like it's just not going to happen. With those shades, it is going to happen. They recommend using your fingers. Normally, I have my nails done. I got one broke, and when one breaks, I like clip them all. Don't worry, they're going to get fixed Friday. But that's beside the point. I don't like to use my fingers. So these shades do work. I do like them. Like I said, it's beautiful. However, you're going to need a base. You're going to need something like the Too Faced Glitter Glue. And even with that, you're still going to get a little bit of fallout. So for it to say that it's fallout free, I don't know where the mattes, maybe, yeah. I had no fallout with the mattes, but those shimmery shades though. So the con is obviously that they're going to fall out all over your face, and if you don't have a base, they're not like the swatch. Like, you guys will see the swatches and think, you know, oh, that's how it's going to come off on the eyes, not without a base. However, you can use these kind of the same way that I like to use Max Pressed pigments. I like to take my finger, tap it in there, do not dig it in there, and just take that and just lightly go over the eye in this kind of motion, and it gives you, you see how it kind of stuck on my hand? It gives you more of a shimmery effect to the eye without it being opaque. So that is a great way to use it, and I will use them that way when I don't want full color payoff. So there are definitely a few ways to use these. You just have to be patient with them. And I can see some people not liking these shades at all because of the amount of work you have to do with it. Didn't have any issues. I popped on my glitter glue, used a 242, and it was good, but you do have to work with them. What I find to be extremely beautiful about them is that those shades are formulated with diamond crushed pearls, so it gives it this reflection that is unlike anything else that I have in my arsenal of makeup here, other than there are some shades in the other two that kind of give that same effect, but they're still different. I don't know how to explain it. Bottom line is that the crystal shades are gorgeous, but you have to know how to work with them. Somebody who does not want to spend that much time aren't gonna like them. One of the big causes for concern with her previous palettes was that it contained talc. So this palette right here has no talc, no parabens, and it is cruelty free. So that is a huge plus. It also contains botanical oils, which I'm sure that's how they become so creamy and soft, and oh, they're amazing. And something else cool that she did, sometimes you get a palette like this, and if you're not a makeup artist like myself, people can get overwhelmed, like how am I going to use that many shades in a palette? I don't know what to do. So she did it like this. Any sequence of 3, so downward, across, or diagonal, are shades that can be put together to create a look. Another way is also any square that you use. So I based my look off of this square right here, and then I added in a few other shades, but if you wanted to just use that square, it works. And you can totally see that, like if you take it and just look at the squares, they completely make a look. They all have a transition shade, they have a deeper shade, and they have a lid shade. It's pretty genius to me. I love that it's done that way. Let's talk about some cost comparisons. So the Star palette has 18 shades in there, and it costs $169. So that comes down to about $9.30 something cents, like 33 or 34. So that isn't that big of a price difference between a lot of the brands that we're already buying. Say, for instance, Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you buy a single eyeshadow from her, it is $12. Yes, $12. You only get a discount whenever you buy more. So if you buy 4, it comes down to $10 a piece, and then you can get 8 for $70. But those shadows aren't even the same amount. So then let's talk about Makeup Geek. So Makeup Geek are $6 for a regular one, and then $10 for the foiled. So this palette right here, if I were to make it with Makeup Geek shadows, it's going to cost me about $136. And the reason being is because I took the shades that are more like her foiled and made them $10 and then $6 for everything else. So $136. And those are only 1.8 grams, and these are 2.5. So you're getting a lot of product in each one of these single shadows in here. It might not look like it, but you are. The 28 pans, these end up coming out to about $8.50 each. So you're getting more bang for your buck here than you are with the others, but it just depends on how much you want to spend. Now I want to do one more comparison of this to another palette before I talk about this one compared to the old ones. And the palette that I want to compare it to is the Modern Renaissance. So this is that one, and I'm going to put it right up here. So as you can see, there are some similar shades here. This guy right here was, I think, 42 or 45, and this one is 169. Again, the amount of product you're getting is vastly more in this one down here, but there are some similar shades. To me, I did not buy this palette for these 2 shades here. These did not swatch very well for me, but on the eyes, they weren't patchy. However, in the Modern Renaissance palette, those shades in that palette are more pigmented. Let me show you. So here is the Modern Renaissance, and this one is Natasha Denona. These are more pigmented, so if you're looking just for those shades, I would go with the Modern Renaissance. But then in this palette, the shimmery shades, metallic shades, the duochrome, all the shades in here that are not matte completely outperform the shimmer shades in the Modern Renaissance. Not to mention that the mattes in this one completely outperform the Anastasia Beverly Hills, other than those 2 shades, just because they are more pigmented, not because the ones in the other one are bad. They did swatch bad. I was kind of shocked whenever I swatched it. I was like, what the crap? But like I said, when I applied it to my eyes, I didn't have any issues. I can see, however, though, if you were to want to pack it on your eyes and become that pigmented, you are going to need a base for that. Now comparing these guys, do I like this one or these better? What do you guys think? So I have to say that the originals are definitely my favorite. I like the creamy mattes in the Star palette better, but overall, I like the originals better to me. I just do. If you're trying to decide what to do, like if you're trying to do the VIB sale and you don't want to know if you want to get one of these or if you want to get this one, it's going to be personal preference, you guys. This one contains more mattes. These are highly packed with a ton of glittery shades. Most of these are definitely, this whole row is nothing but shimmer. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 3 mattes in here. There might be another one that I'm missing. And it's the same one for the purple, but I have so many matte shadows and single palettes that I can create looks with these that I enjoy it. This one, matte. So then like 4 mattes again, and then the rest are shimmery. Whereas you have a whole lot more mattes in here, and the mattes in this are phenomenal. I just can't get over the mattes in that. They might be they might be on par with my love for Visart, but they're two completely different formulas. So my end verdict on this palette is 2 thumbs up, maybe 1 thumbs up, because I'm gonna say these two are way too similar and these could be a little bit more pigmented. I had no issues with them, but they could be more pigmented. I don't mind the fallout with the crystal shadows. They're so beautiful that I'm gonna spend the time to apply them. But to each their own. I'm going to insert the swatches of these and then we're going to start the tutorial on this eye look. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. I'm first going in with Vega, that peachy pink shade on a fluffy blending brush, and this is a Sephora Pro Tapered Crease number 19. And I do already have my eye primed with Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC, and then I have Anastasia Fresh eyeshadow to set all of that. And I am just working this into the crease and upwards as a transition shade. Circular motions to blend it out, and then I always extend a little bit on this outer V. With a NARS contour brush, I'm taking that same shade and just popping it underneath the lower lash line so that I can smoke out some shades underneath there later. With a MAC 217, I'm going in with Attic, and I'm just going to deepen up the crease. So I'm going in back and forth windshield wiper motions and then softly blending it up very softly after I've got the majority of the product off into the crease. I'm further deepening up the crease with Supernova, and that is the shimmery metallic shade. Not like glittery, but just kind of the sheen to it. And this is going to add just a little bit of that sheen into the crease so that the glittery shade and the crease aren't as stark differences from shimmer and then just matte. So I love putting a little bit of shimmer into the crease. Same brush, but I'm now taking Phoenix, and I'm just going to pat this on the outer corner and then slightly up into the crease, just like halfway right here. But I mainly want it on this outer V right here. I'm going to take Phoenix on the outer part of my under eye as well with my NARS contour brush, just on the outer half here. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of Too Faced glitter glue and a MAC 228. Put just a tiny bit on your brush and then start on the inner half of the eye. Right through here. Go all the way to the inner corner. Do not surpass the crease, but go up to it. And then take the excess and just tap right over where Phoenix was on the very edge so that it blends. For precautionary measures, I'm putting a paper towel underneath my eye, and I've got Polaris on a MAC 242, and I'm going to tap this right over top of the glitter glue. Now I want to add just a little bit of depth, so I'm taking a Gemma from the opposite side, and I'm just going to pop this right on the outer V. Not bringing this into the crease or anything. I don't want to cover up all that red shade, but just on this outer V to add some depth. Now I'm taking Orion on a NARS contour brush again, and I'm going to pop this from outer to inner, and I sprayed my brush one time for about a foot away with MAC Fix Plus. Grabbing that glitter glue, just a tiny bit of it, and I'm popping it on the very inner corner. And then I'm going in with Galaxia and just using the same brush so I don't have a whole lot of fallout. Of course, it does make it a little bit more difficult to blend out. I'm going to add a very thin line of liner, put on some lashes, and I'll be right back. So I decided to be lazy and just forego the lashes. I didn't feel like putting them on. I'm not even gonna lie, I just didn't feel like it. Anywho, if you liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and let me know down below if you picked up this palette or just what your thoughts are on it in general. I would love to know. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.